All right, let's solve some equations. So our first problem, 6a plus 5a equals negative 11. First thing we want to do, I talked about a couple power moves. Let's look for distributive property first. Well, I don't see any distributive property, nothing that needs to be distributed. So the next step is combine like terms. Well, if I've got 6a and 5a in total, I've got 11a, right? So we know 11a equals negative 11. But I don't want to know what 11a is equal. I want to know what 1a equals. So I'm going to divide by 11. What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So on the other side, I got to divide by 11. And I did that because it creates this giant 1, right? 11 divided by 11 is 1. So what am I left with on the left side? I'm left with a. A equals negative 11 divided by 11. Well, when you divide a negative by a positive, you get a negative. So it's negative 1. I can check my work. All I do is substitute negative 1 in the original equation everywhere I see a. So let's substitute it in. 6 times negative 1 plus 5 times negative 1. This should equal negative 11. If my equation is true, I know my answer is correct. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, plus 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Well, and I know negative 6 plus negative 5 is negative 11, so that equals negative 11. We are good. This equation is true. Check, check. We are right. A equals negative 1. All right, let's look at one more example. Give you another example here. How about 24 equals 3 groups of 3r minus 7? 3 groups of 3r minus 7. Well, we talked about those power moves. First step to look for, let's see if there's anything we need to distribute in our process of simplification. I see it. We can distribute the 3 times 3r and the 3 times negative 7. So if we do that, we have 24, nothing on the left side yet. That equals 9r. 3 times 3r is 9r. Plus 3 times negative 7, that's negative 21. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. So what's the next step? We need to isolate the variable. We're trying to solve for r. So we got to get r all by himself, that variable all by himself. I need to get rid of this negative 21. I'm going to create a zero pair by adding 21 to both sides. What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So if we add 21 to both sides, I have 24 plus 21 on the left. That's 45 equals, I didn't do anything to 9r, so I leave that alone, 9r. And I created my zero pair, right? Negative 21 plus positive 21 is 0, so it's gone. So I'm left with 45 equals 9r. Well, I don't want to know what 9r is equal. I want to know what 1r equals, so let's divide by 9. What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. I'm dividing by 9 on both sides. Why? Because it creates this giant 1. 9 divided by 9 equals 1. So that leaves me with r on the right side and 5. 45 divided by 9 equals 5. Well, we can check our work. I think r equals 5. Let's put it back into the original equation. 24 equals 3 groups of 3 times r. Well, we said r may be 5 minus 7. Let's solve this equation. 24 equals, we'll do what's in the parentheses first. 3 times 5 is 15 minus 7. 24 equals 3 times 15 minus 7 is 8. So we have 24 equals 3 times 8, which is 24. This works. That's a true equation. 24 equals 24. Check, check. So I know my solution is r equals 5.